Today we mourn the passing of Michael Søren Madsen, the rugged, poetic, and endlessly intense American actor whose career spanned more than 4 decades. Born on September 25, 1957, in Chicago, Illinois, and passing away on July 3, 2025, at the age of 67, Madsen leaves behind a legacy steeped in unforgettable roles, raw emotion, and a life lived unapologetically on his own terms. For millions of fans around the world, Madsen was a symbol of masculine complexity, a blend of menace and melancholy, volatility and vulnerability. Whether in cult classics like Reservoir Dogs or introspective poetry anthologies, he poured himself into his art, making sure his pain, love, and truth left a mark. Early life and family background. Michael Søren Madsen was born to Calvin Madsen, a Chicago firefighter, and Elaine Nelson Madsen, a filmmaker, poet, and Emmy-winning author. His father was Danish-American, and his mother was of Irish and Native American descent. The family environment was working class, tough, and creative. Michael had 2 sisters, including the acclaimed actress Virginia Madsen. Despite coming from a family where storytelling was valued, Michael's early path was not glamorous. He worked as a gas station attendant, auto mechanic, and in other blue-collar jobs before finding his way to the stage. A pivotal moment in his life came when he trained at Chicago's Steppenwolf Theater Company under the mentorship of John Malkovich. There, Madsen honed his acting skills, discovering a deep, emotional reservoir that would later define his screen presence. Breaking into Hollywood, Madsen began his acting career in the early 1980s with television appearances and small film roles. His early work included roles in War Games 1983 and The Natural 1984, where he played a slugger who tragically dies during a game. While these roles were minor, his intensity stood out. By the end of the 1980s, he appeared in Kill Me Again, 1989 opposite Val Kilmer, a neo-noir film that showcased his brooding charm. Hollywood took notice, and soon he became known for playing complex, sometimes dangerous, menace theme that would follow him throughout his career. Rise to stardom. Reservoir Dogs. Madsen's true breakout came in 1992, when director Quentin Tarantino cast him as Mr. Blonde in the now legendary crime thriller, Reservoir Dogs. His portrayal of the sadistic yet eerily calm Vic Vega became instantly iconic, particularly during the chilling scene where he tortures a cop to the tune of Stuck in the Middle with You. That single performance forever associated Madsen with gritty, morally ambiguous characters. Tarantino had such confidence in him that he even considered casting Madsen as Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction, a role that eventually went to John Travolta. Tarantino and Madsen would go on to have a strong creative partnership, a prolific 1990s run after Reservoir Dogs. Madsen became a fixture in the 1990s film scene, frequently cast as a villain, anti-hero, or emotionally scarred figure. Some of his most notable works during this period include Species 1995, he played government agent Preston Lennox. Donnie Brasco, 1997, a supporting role alongside Al Pacino and Johnny Depp, further solidifying his standing. Mulholland Falls, 1996, a 1940s detective story. The Getaway, 1994, with Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. Wyatt Earp, 1994, he portrayed Virgil Earp alongside Kevin Costner. Though not always box office hits, Madsen's roles were memorable. His capacity to imbue even small characters with a brooding humanity made him an in-demand character actor. Poetry and other artistic ventures parallel to his acting. Madsen was a talented poet and author. He released several collections of poetry, including Burning in Paradise, American Badass. Expecting Rainer's writing was raw and introspective, often touching on themes of loss, addiction, love, regret, and redemption. Madsen described poetry as his emotional outlet and a form of therapy. Unlike acting, where he played characters, poetry allowed him to explore his personal darkness and vulnerabilities without masks. His voice, both figuratively and literally, was a key part of his persona. Gravelly and pained, it lent weight to his readings and added layers to his roles. His spoken word performances at poetry events and film festivals often drew devoted audiences. Collaboration with Tarantino continues. Kill Bill in 2003 and 2004. Madsen reunited with Tarantino for Kill Bill, Volume 1 and Volume 2, portraying Bud, the reclusive, tragic brother of Bill. Unlike Mr. Blonde, Bud was broken and introspective, a former killer, now sweeping floors at a strip club. The role allowed Madsen to show a quieter, more sorrowful side of his talent. His performance was praised for its subtlety and emotional weight, proving he was more than just a screen tough guy. It also rekindled interest in his career, leading to roles in more independent and international films. Voice acting and other roles in the 2000s. Madsen lent his distinct voice to several projects, most notably as Tony Cipriani in the groundbreaking video game Grand Theft Auto 3, 2001. His gravelly delivery became instantly recognizable to a new generation of fans. During this era, he starred in Sin City, 2005, another stylized noir. Blood Rain, 2005, though critically panned, showcased his cult appeal. Strength and Honor, 2007, a lesser-known but emotionally driven film he co-produced. Though not every film was critically acclaimed, Madsen stayed true to his roots, fiercely independent, artistically adventurous, and uninterested in playing Hollywood's game. Personal life, family, and struggles. Michael Madsen's personal life was often as intense as his film characters. He married Janine Bessignano, with whom he had 2 sons. After their divorce, he married Deanna Madsen, with whom he had 3 more sons. In total, he fathered 6 children. Tragically, in 2022, his eldest son, Hudson Madsen, a U.S. Army veteran, died by suicide at the age of 26. The loss devastated Michael and was a turning point in his emotional and physical health. Madsen struggled with alcoholism, financial instability, and mental health challenges throughout his life. He had multiple run-ins with the law, including arrests for DUIs and domestic disturbances. Despite several rehab stints, his battles continued well into his 60s. He once said, "I know what it's like to be the villain, on screen and in life. But every villain is just someone carrying a wound no one sees." Lifestyle. Cars and homes. Madsen was known for his rugged lifestyle, reflecting both his on-screen persona and real-life sensibility. He was fond of motorcycles, vintage cars, and cowboy boots. He owned a collection of classic American muscle cars, including a 1969 Dodge Charger and a Chevrolet Camaro SS. His main residence was a rustic, yet luxurious ranch-style home in Malibu, filled with memorabilia, vintage movie posters, and poetry books. He also owned a cabin retreat in the Montana countryside, where he often escaped to write and reflect. Net worth and financial ups and downs. At the time of his death, Michael Madsen's net worth was estimated to be around $4 million. Despite his prolific career, he faced financial instability at various points, declaring bankruptcy in 2009. However, he rebounded with steady work in independent films, commercials, and voice acting. Illness and death. In the final years of his life, Madsen's health deteriorated. He reportedly suffered from chronic liver disease, heart complications, and deep emotional depression, exacerbated by grief and substance abuse. On July 3, 2025, Michael Madsen passed away at the age of 67, while the official cause of death was not publicly disclosed. Sources close to the family confirmed he had been hospitalized in the weeks prior and was receiving treatment for organ failure. News of his passing triggered an outpouring of tributes from fans, fellow actors, filmmakers, and poets. Quentin Tarantino, in a statement, described him as a once-in-a-generation actor whose soul was too big for the screen and too real for Hollywood. Legacy and impact. Michael Madsen leaves behind a powerful cinematic legacy, known for portraying dangerous, emotionally complex characters. He gave voice to the broken, the hardened, and the poetic. His roles in Tarantino's films redefined the modern gangster archetype, influencing a generation of actors beyond the screen. His poetry and public vulnerability made him a rare breed in Hollywood. Both a tough guy and a thoughtful artist, is remembered not just as a prolific actor, but as a true original. A survivor of Hollywood's darker edges who gave us unforgettable performances, raw poetry, and a life lived on his own terms. Michael Madsen's death marks the end of a compelling chapter in American cinema. From the smoky streets of Chicago to the brightest lights of Hollywood, he carried his pain and passion with grace. Rest in power, Mr. Blonde. If you were touched by Michael Madsen's work, please let us know your favorite film or quote in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow fans, and subscribe to the channel for more biographical tributes.